Right now, without asking permission, your brain is running a program it didn't tell you about. You saw the word yawn a few lines ago, maybe the title before that. And somewhere between reading it and arriving here, your jaw did something. Or it wanted to. Or it's about to. You didn't decide that. It just happened. Here's the thing. What just happened in your head has more to do with your capacity for human connection than it does with being tired. In 2003, Stephen Platek, then at Drexel University, ran one of those experiments that sounds almost insultingly simple. He showed people videos of other people yawning. That's it. And while they watched, he measured two things, whether they yawned back and how they scored on standard empathy scales. The results came out in cognitive brain research that same year. People who scored high on empathy yawned contagiously at significantly higher rates. People who scored low barely yawned at all. The correlation was stable, reproducible, clean enough to be uncomfortable. I keep coming back to this study because of what it implies, not what it says, what it implies. Platek wasn't measuring whether people were tired. He was measuring whether a signal from one nervous system could fire an involuntary response in another. And the people whose nervous systems were most open to other people, they were the ones whose bodies responded. One video, one stranger yawning on a screen. And your body either picks up the signal or it doesn't. The infrastructure behind this runs through what neuroscientists call the mirror neuron system, though calling it a, quote, zero makes it sound cleaner than it is. The discovery happened by accident in Parma, Italy, in the early 1990s. Giacomo Rizzolotti's lab was tracking single neurons in a macaque monkey's premotor cortex, the region that fires when the monkey reaches for an object. Routine stuff. Then one afternoon, a researcher reached for his own food, and the neuron fired again. The monkey wasn't moving, it was just watching. That finding, published and eventually replicated across species, opened a question that's still not fully closed. When you observe someone else doing something, parts of your brain light up as if you were doing it. The signal routes through you, not metaphorically, literally. Yawning, it turns out, is one of the clearest ways to watch this happen in real time. You don't need a lab. You don't need electrodes. You just need to read the word. And wait. The signal travels from someone else's face into your motor system, and your body stages a partial rehearsal of their experience. You don't feel it happening, but it happens. Here's where it gets cold. Researchers at the University of Connecticut wanted to know what happens to this signal in people who score high on measures of psychopathy. Not movie psychopathy, clinical psychopathy, measurable. Scored on the PCL-R, the standard checklist used in forensic psychology. Real data, real people, real numbers. What they found, contagious yawning was significantly reduced, near zero in some cases. Sit with that for a second. The video was the same. The face on screen was the same. The visual information going in was identical. But somewhere between receiving that signal and routing it through to a physical response, the chain broke. Not because of inattention, not because of fatigue. Because the part of the network that's supposed to pass that signal forward, the part that says this person's state is relevant to your body, wasn't doing what it does in most people. I don't want to dramatize this, but I genuinely found this one of the most unsettling facts I've read in neuroscience. Not because it's scary, but because it's quiet. It means there's a person sitting across from you who can watch your face and feel nothing land. No transfer, no echo. The signal goes in and just stops. That's not a moral judgment, it's a description of wiring. Here's what makes it stranger. This isn't just a human thing. Ramiro Jolie Mascaroni and colleagues published a study in Biology Letters in 2008 showing that dogs yawn contagiously in response to humans. Not just other dogs, humans. Then, in 2014, Teresa Romero at the University of Tokyo showed in PLOS 1 that wolves do it too, within their own packs, with animals they're bonded to. The signal is older than our species. Whatever circuit is running when you yawn at a stranger's photo in your phone, it was running in wolves before anything we'd call civilization existed. It was running in our ancestors before they had words for what they were doing. Empathy as a concept dates to the early 20th century. The mechanism behind it is tens of millions of years old. Molly Helt and colleagues at the University of Connecticut published data in Child Development in 2010 that I found almost more interesting than the psychopathy finding, though less dramatic on the surface. Children under 4 or 5 years old don't yawn contagiously. Neither do children with autism, across a wider age range. This doesn't mean a 3-year-old lacks empathy. It means the circuit isn't finished yet. The network is still being routed. A toddler can see a yawning face, and the signal doesn't find a path, not because anything is wrong, but because the infrastructure hasn't been laid down. It comes later, connection by connection, face by face, year by year. And here's what that means. The capacity to receive another person's state into your own body isn't just something you have or don't have. It's something that grows, or sometimes doesn't. Elisabetta Palagi at the University of Pisa found in a 2009 PLOS I study that social closeness changes the probability of contagious yawning. A stranger yawns near you. You might not react at all. Someone you're close to yawns. The signal goes through almost every time. Your nervous system is running a priority filter. The people who matter to you get higher bandwidth. You're not choosing this. The network is choosing it for you. Sunday afternoon, couch, phone in your hand. You're scrolling and someone in a video yawns, and your mouth opens a little and you don't even notice. In that moment, in that completely mundane, unremarkable moment, your nervous system did something that has been happening between social animals for longer than our species has existed. It took a signal from another body and ran it through yours. It said, "This state is information. Receive it." Your ancestor 100,000 years ago sat near a fire. Someone across from them yawned, and their jaw opened in response. They had no name for it, no framework. It just happened, the way breathing happens, the same signal, the same network, the same transfer. Platek framed it carefully the way good scientists do. Contagious yawning is a marker, he said, not a diagnosis. One data point. One missing yawn doesn't mean anything. But here's what the data collectively suggests. This reflex is one of the few places where connection between people becomes physically visible, involuntary, and very hard to fake. You can perform interest. You can perform warmth. You can say all the right things. But if you yawn and the person across from you doesn't, not once across a whole conversation, their nervous system is telling you something their face isn't. And if you yawned reading this, even slightly, even just the urge, your brain just ran a signal that's been passing between living things since long before there were words for what it meant. Between that first transfer and this one, there's only time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We're already working on a new and exciting